Welcome back. Canning is a popular pastime, whether it's preserving or pickling, and a new cookbook offers recipes to use in your creations to make everyday cooking a breeze. The Food in Jars Kitchen is the fourth book by food writer and canning teacher Marissa McClellan. It's good to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
You're expecting twins.
I am, yes.
I don't know why I'm doing that. That's not helpful.
No.
When are the twins due?
They're due August 8th.
So are you going to just like can yourself over the summer and get it all built out?
Yeah, exactly. As much as I can before they get here.
Now, the book is great.
Thank
is
you.
it for beginners? Can we learn how to can from your book?
You can. There's a section in the back of the book. Hey,
learn
you
to
can. There's a section in the back of the book that has sort of my 12 essential recipes for canning. But this book is more about using up what you preserved rather than just dedicated to canning. But there are the instructions there as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about, well, first of all, how your love of canning began. I know I kind of learned with my mom, but then I haven't carried it through. You have, so how did you do that?
Well, I grew up in Portland, and so, you know, here in the Pacific Northwest, there are always blackberries and apples and blueberries around. So I knew how to do it a little bit from growing up, but I didn't really start doing it on my own until about 12 years ago. I was in grad school. I was living in Philadelphia by that point, and I went blueberry picking with some friends, and I came home with 13 pounds of blueberries.
And what do you do with those?
Exactly.
You have to preserve them.
Exactly.
You have 3 other books. Are they all about canning and preserving?
They are. My first book was Food in Jars, and it's all about general interest canning. My second book was Preserving by the Pint, and that's super small batch canning for people who have tiny kitchens and tiny households. And
or
then,
just tiny motivation.
Exactly, that too. And then my third book was all about canning with natural sweeteners. So if you want to avoid refined sugars, you can sweeten things with honey or maple or agave.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I was actually just asking you that question before we came on. Can I use sugar substitute? And you said not so much with the stevias and that kind of stuff, but with the natural sweeteners, you're fine. Okay, so show us the basics here. What are we going to do?
So today I'm going to just, what I've got is the setup to do some jammy vinaigrette. And this is a great way to use up the end of a jar, or you know, you've had some jam in your refrigerator for a while and you just want to move it along.
And even if it's not your own, if you just have, you know, preserves in your fridge, this is a good way not to waste the end.
Exactly. And so I've just got a couple of tablespoons of strawberry jam right in there. And then to that I'm going to add some apple cider vinegar.
I can tell I'm going to like this already. And you have a jar to do it in. See how cool this is?
You know, you're just going to shake it all up right in the jar. And then I'm going to add about the same amount of olive oil that I added vinegar.
Sort of half and half on top of whatever your jam is.
And then we just add a pinch of salt to give it a little extra flavor. And then just put the lid on and give it a really good shake.
And the salt's important to kind of counteract the sweet, bring the sweet out.
It brings some balance to it. And so you just keep shaking.
I can smell it already. That smells so good and fresh.
Yeah, and you can see too that we've got the little bits of berry, but it's not like you've got big hunks of jam. It really breaks up nicely.
That's amazing. Does the vinegar help do that, or is it just the liquid?
The acid really helps break it up. And then,
so we would use it on a salad like this.
Absolutely. And I can dress that guy if you'd like me to.
Dress the big one?
Yeah, let's dress the big one. So this is just mixed salad greens and some strawberries. And I just like to do a little drizzle.
I wish you could smell this, you guys. It smells super fresh.
And then I like to add a little bit of the sunflower seeds to give a little crunch and protein to the salad. And then we can toss it together with those tongs.
All right, very good. Now you brought...
push them down.
Push it down, okay. You brought a cobbler over there that I've been eyeballing all morning. Tell me about that while I do this.
So this is actually a vegan pecan oat jam bar.
That sounds pretty good.
It's really delicious. It's easy to make. You can make it in your food processor. So you just pulse up some pecans and oats. You add a little whole wheat flour, some coconut oil, maple syrup, and you just make a dough with that. And then once that's all together, you take about 3/4 of that dough and you pat it into a baking dish. You spread your jam on top, and it can be a mix of jam. It doesn't necessarily have to be like one solid jar. If you've got a couple odds and ends that you're trying to use up, you can do a mix, and then you crumble the last of the batter on top. And when you're done, when it's finished baking, it is this really lovely jam bar where you've got that layer of crust and then the layer of jam and then more crunchy bits.
Is that in the cookbook?
It is.
Is that in this one?
Yeah.
So what would be your advice? I'm just topping this with a few more crumbly things.
Oh, that looks pretty.
That does look good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That is very nice. And again, the aroma is making this happen for me. Yeah. So if you're interested in starting, like I can't remember actually how this worked, but I did like the preserves. I like tomatoes especially kept. What's the best way to learn?
Well, you know, here in Seattle, you have so many opportunities to take classes. I taught a class yesterday at the pantry, and that was a great class.
Cool.
And
Yeah,
so they have
it's a
canning
great place.
classes all season long. But you can also, I have a website that I have been writing for a decade with lots of canning information. But I really feel like, you know, take a class, read a book. Everybody has different learning styles, so just pick out one that works best for
I'm
you.
sure everything on your
Yeah.
website would be a good way. And
Yeah.
is it expensive? I mean, can you get started without investing a ton in gizmos?
It doesn't have to be expensive at all. The only thing you really need to invest in when you're starting canning is a wide mouth funnel, a jar lifter, which is essentially a pair of tongs that are kind of curved to
Right,
go
so
around.
that you can pull the jar out of the
And
water.
some jars. You know, you can use a stock pot that you've already got. You pick up fruit from your local farmer's market, or you go
Right.
picking and forage. So it doesn't have to be expensive at all.
If you buy pasta sauce, like I do,
Yeah.
with the, you know, 2-piece lid, you're ready to go.
Absolutely.
Those are already, they're free. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
of
We
course.
appreciate
My
it.
pleasure.
Up next on New Day, Darcy Camden joins us with travel fashions that are stylish and durable. Back after this.